All right, my friends, today is a big day. Oh, yes. It's Dehner Day. And it's not even a weekend. I'm just going to go for a short ride, test out this new seat, and test out, yes. Hold on a second. The Dehners. Dehner action, my friends. Dehner. How you looking at that? The power of Dehner. Anyway, let me move the bike, get it started, and we're just going to take a short ride and check out the magic. I wasn't going to ride today, but I got these Dehner boots, and I said, damn it, gosh, darn it, you gotta ride it, my friend. You got to. So what the hell, let's go. Let's take it for a ride. Plus, it gives me a chance to check out the new seat. I took out a lot of the air, so it's definitely not cushiony like it used to be. But hopefully, it's a little bit more easier when I ride. But today's going to be a crazy day because I'm riding with my new seat, which I'm still trying to get used to, and we're talking Dehner. It's going to be a ride, my friends. It's going to be one. To ride very far. I just want to test out the new boots, test out the seat. I deflated some of the cushion, the cushioning, so it's not as cushiony as it was before. And we'll just see how the short ride goes. We're going to take a short ride, nothing dramatic, maybe just like an hour or something like that, and then head back home. I just want to check out the magic of the boots. All right, so far the boots, I will say they have their pluses and their minuses. I will go into more detail in a bit. Got my keys are poking a hole into me over here. Come on. Okay. And the seat, I also have some commentary on the seat, but we'll get to all that later. Let me turn this puppy around. inside the stuff for a little bit. I'm not going to do a long ride. I'm about to head back. So I wanted to stop here, look at the water a little bit, talk about the Dehner Boots, and you know, just kind of hang out for a bit. So people are going to look at me funny because there's a bunch of people around, but oh well. Friends, sorry I'm a little blown out here. How you doing? But I stopped to take some footage of the beach here, and so I'm at the beach. It's sunset here in Santa Monica, and yes, I got my Dehner tall boots. Let me see if I can pull back, give you a little view. Fellow biker over there gave me a wave, but I couldn't wave because I was too busy setting up the boot shop. Hey, the boot shop. All right. So far, I don't know. So far, I have to say that the Dehner boots are definitely a different beast than the Wescos. They're, you know, it's kind of weird because they're kind of comfortable, but yet they're kind of not. So. I will have to do maybe a full review of them later, but in my short ride, they're pretty comfortable in general, but they feel so less substantial than the Wesco. Way lighter than the Wesco, way lighter. I feel almost like I'm wearing like dress shoes, and I guess they are kind of dressy. So I'm trying to keep you with the sun there so you can see the boots more. So you can see the boots better. Definitely a totally different beast. A totally different beast than the Wescos. 100% different type of feel when I'm riding the bike. Much more loosey-goosey. But they look very cool. You know, they definitely have that cool factor. And they got some good tread. Not as good as the Wescos, but pretty decent in general. So anyway, I'm gonna head back. This is just a short ride. I got the Dehners, and I said I polished them up a bit. And I said, you know, I could wait until the weekend and try them out, or I can just ride right now. Plus the weekend might be kind of hot. And one other thing too about these Dehners I've noticed is that they are they don't breathe as good as the Wescos. My socks feel a little like sweaty. Is that too much information? Is that too much TMI? I don't know. But I mean, I definitely got to ride with them more, get more of a feel for them. But I will say they are pretty comfortable in general. The only thing that right about here, it's a little tight. So it's a little tight about there. But as far as walking and as far as the ankles, like the ankles, they're pretty comfortable. I gotta be honest, I really feel pretty comfortable on these boots. They weigh way less than the Wescos. So anyway, I also want to mention about my seat. So as I mentioned before, I bought this new seat, custom seat. It was kind of expensive, and I didn't like it the first time around. I sent it back. Then they oh, someone's running over here. I'm in his way. Don't want him to run into traffic. Then I sent it back, and they redid it. I rode with it in my last video. You saw I rode with it, but it kept slipping, and it kept making me feel uncomfortable when I was riding. So what I did is this seat has an air bladder right here. So I removed some of the air, and it does seem to make an improvement. Like when I was riding over here right now, I thought, well, you know, it's not too bad. I definitely sit way lower on the bike than I did before, but it seems pretty comfortable. When I go on my longer ride this weekend, I'll have a better vibe for it. But for right now, it seems like it's doing pretty good. So I'm happy about that. And so far, I am happy with my Dehners. They are just a different beast than the Wescos. That's all I can say. I'm gonna, you know, when I get back to my place, I'll try to sit down and do more of a thorough review, because right now I'm here on the coast, and traffic is going by at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Hey, it's life in Los Angeles, life in Santa Monica. But oh well, what you gonna do? Let me give you also a little, you know, I always like to show my iron horse to everybody, because who knows, maybe somebody out there wants to buy an iron horse and they want to check it out. So here it is again. It's still leaking a little oil, but I think it's that O-ring. But I'm going to just keep wiping it down for now, because it'd be expensive to change it, and it's not leaking that much to make it really worth my while. Well, the bike's a pretty good bike, but there are a few headaches. One other big one is the speedometer here, okay? So that speedometer barely works. I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But if you're gonna buy an iron horse, be forewarned that it's not the best speedometer. But you know, what can I say? I've had this bike for a few years now. I'm still riding it. I really can't find another bike that I like better, so I'm sticking with it. Anyway, before I go, let me show you a little bit of the view here. So we're here, and those people are trying to climb down or something. We're here in Santa Monica. Well, yeah, I guess this is technically Santa Monica. But over there is the pier in the downtown Santa Monica. Up here where the traffic is all coming, that's Malibu, heading up there is heading to Malibu. And of course, this is the ocean. So it's kind of a light group today because it's kind of cold right now. You know, it's probably around 6:30 at night. So, you know, it's late in the day. But I wanted to get out and do a ride. I wanted to try out the Dehners. I wanted to try out the seat. So I think I'm going to head back home now and keep waving to my fellow motorcyclists. Anyway, I'll talk to you in a bit. It's Dehner day number 2. Taking the Dehners back out and gonna see how they feel. Trying to do a little bit better review. I'm just gonna once again go up the coast. May stop to get something to eat. I don't know. It's a solo ride, so I don't know. We'll just see what happens, see where it goes. But I definitely want to do one more ride with the Dehners before I kind of sit down and do a full review. And this is a Dehner ride number 2. Canyon Road as we speak. That's where I'm heading up as you're looking at the video. So a few thoughts about the Dehner boots. One, I have to say they are this second ride that I'm doing, the boots are way more comfortable. I think I'm becoming one with the boots, and that's always a good thing. You're one with the boots. They're very more comfortable. They're very light compared to the West Coast. It's like I'm wearing clouds, clouds instead of boots, but. So they are very cool boots, and they look shiny. They get a lot of attention, you know, even more so than the Wesco. And those are all great stuff. Now, a couple of negatives, unfortunately, is that I don't think they're as rugged as the Wesco, because the right, you're going to see this later in the video, the right heel of my boot was touching the pipe on my motorcycle, and it started to scratch up and melt away a little bit of the leather. And that happened with the West Coast as well. But with the West Coast, it's just not that noticeable. I think it's because the West Coast uses very thick leather. And I don't think the Dehners uses the same kind of thickness. Their lower half of the boot is a form of calf skin. I think they call it Voyager leather, but basically it's calf skin. And then the upper half is this kind of man-made material called D-cord. And I think that's lined with some sort of leather, but the bulk of the shaft, the heart of the shaft, is this man-made material. That's why, at least that's how Dehner describes it. And the purpose of that is that so the boot is much more easy to clean, a lot more easy to make shiny, And if you're like a motorcycle cop who's using this on everyday kind of situation, it just makes it more manageable to have as your everyday kind of motorcycle, boot. So that is probably, that's basically the description of the boot. And like I said, overall I like the boot. I'm a little disappointed about that the leather is not as hardcore as the Wesco. The other thing too, which I don't comment on this video, but you might be able to see it. When I got home from this ride that you're looking at right now, I noticed that once again the right boot, some of the stitching had come loose where the shaft meets the lower half of the boot. And I thought that was lame. I mean, this is an expensive boot and already some of the stitches coming off. So as I'm making this video, I took my boot to a cobbler, a boot repairman, and he's going to reinforce that section of the boot where the stitching was coming loose, and he's also going to fix up the scratching that was on the side of the boot. So it should all look nice, but I'm a little disappointed that on the quality of the Dehners. I thought they might be at the same level of Wesco, but I think they're not at the same level. However, with that said, I still think they're great looking boots. Unbelievable. Some people compare them to Chippewa, but I think they're way better than Chippewa. I think they look so much nicer. They have a form fit. They just grab your eyes, and they feel way more comfortable than the Chippewa boots. They're very, like I said, they are super light, and I do, when I get back when I get my boots back, I do plan to keep using them on the motorcycle. So they're not going to be some closet princess. They're going to be on the motorcycle just like my Wescos, because I wear my boots. I use my boots. I wear my boots. They're not just for decoration or to sit in my apartment. They're about going out and taking care of business. So that's what the Dehners will do. Anyway, we're almost at the lookout area. So when we get up there, I'm going to point out where I see the scratches in the boot, and show you the boot a little bit, take you on the rest of my ride, and as I always do in these videos, just try to bring you along on the motorcycle / boot journey that is my life. I wanted to bring you here to the overview here. This little view of the valley out here in Los Angeles. Got the trees and everything. So over there's the San Fernando Valley. Around there I think it's Chatsworth area. And so I'm testing out the Dehners. This is day 2 of Dehner Day, so it's very hard to talk and record at the same time, but let me see if I can put this here. Maybe you can watch a little bit of the boot. Okay. All right. So the Dehner boots are pretty good overall. They're not as good as Wesco, but the one thing I noticed is that it's right here. I don't know if you can see. There's somebody watching me. I think they're wondering what the hell I'm doing up here with tall boots and everything. But anyway, let me try to go around this thing here so I can show you this. Basically, the pipes of my motorcycle are starting to burn into the, I guess, the leather of this of these boots. So let me see. Maybe I can show you here. Hold on a second. All right. So I don't know if you can see that right there. See that? That's the pipe. When I'm riding the bike, the pipe is right here and it's touching the boot. I mean, it happens with the Wesco as well, but the Wesco doesn't seem to be as noticeable as it is on these boots. And these boots, it seems to be a lot more noticeable, maybe because they're shiny. Also, Dehner, they use some sort of, I forgot the name of the plastic. They don't call it plastic, but it's like heat light or something. I have to look up the term, but like the shaft is not fully made of leather. It's kind of made of this kind of weird plastic thing that's supposed to hold up longer than regular leather. It is, you know, covered with leather and everything. I don't know if that's the same deal with this other section here, but overall the boot's not too bad. It's getting comfortable. I still think the Wesco is a better boot, more substantial, but it is comfortable. And got to be careful not to fall over, or you might fall to your death. You know. So basically, I'm gonna probably try to grab something to eat over there at the Rock store. Ironically, yesterday I went to the Rock Inn, and today I'm going to the Rock store. So I don't know how my videos are all gonna come out, because I shot a Dehner day 1, and then the next day I went to the Rock Inn, and I wore my Wescos, and now I'm back in the Dehners, and I might be going to the Rock store.
So, what part? That part?
A lot of tourists are up here. I think you can walk up some of these trails. I never actually tried to walk up one of these trails over here. I don't know if the Dehner boots are up to the task. The Wesco, yeah. Dehner? I'm not too sure. Plus, when you wear the Dehners, they want to be all nice and shiny. Already my Dehners are not so shiny. You know, I used to wear Chippewa boots, and I stopped wearing them for one reason, is because they're super shiny, and I got tired of shining them up. But what I like about the Wesco is they're more rugged. They don't need to be shined up. I mean, you can shine up, but you don't need to. And there's the Iron Horse. Maybe I can sit at this little campground there. So the boots are getting a little bit more comfortable. The first time I wore the Dehners, they were a little not as comfortable, but they're getting there. They're getting there. They're not as tight around here as they used to be. Yeah, they're getting a little more flexible. I gotta be careful with this GoPro. Every time I touch something, it goes wacky on me. Okay, all right. Just trying to make sure I don't mess this thing up. So overall, not a bad boot. They're still a little loosey-goosey around the ankles, but overall not too bad. You got the view over there of the city. Pretty sweet. Anyway, why don't we head out to our lunch at the mighty Rock Inn, and then I'll talk some more about the boots there when we get to that destination. I put the glove on the wrong hand. All right, on to the rock store. Let's turn this puppy around. One thing I wanted to clear up on that part of the video that we just watched is I mentioned malachite. So D-cord and malachite are kind of the same thing, okay? So I did a little research on it on the Dehner site. So it seems like D-cord, I guess it used to be the main thing that they used for the shaft of the boot. But later, I guess because the boot, after a while, can get kind of crackly. The more you use it, I guess, it's the leather cracks a bit, and then you can kind of see the D-cord, which is like white underneath it. So as the leather cracks, you see the white underneath it. So supposedly, from what I gathered, they added this other material called malachite, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I think it's called malachite. They added that to the D-cord to now make the shaft much more substantial. So now when the leather cracks, it still looks like, it still looks black. It doesn't have that whiteness coming through. So that's kind of what I've been able to gather the information from reading up on Dehner. So originally they just had D-cord. Now they have D-cord mixed with this malachite thing, which supposedly makes the boot stronger. So it doesn't have that kind of crackling thing that happened with the old Dehners. So anyway, I just wanted to clear it up because in the first part of the video I was talking about D-cord, and then I came in the video and I mentioned malachite. So just wanted to clear that up. They make you have to wear a mask to order food?
You should when you go in, but I've seen guys in there ordering in without masks.
I mean, I got one. I just get lazy.
I got you. Yeah.
But okay, I'll just get out. I wasn't going to, but just to be on the safe side.
Beautiful bike.
Thanks. Appreciate it. It's always a challenging bike. Always needs something's loose or something needs to be tightened or it's leaking this or leaking
quite
that.
a tank on there.
Yeah, but it's deceiving though because it looks like it holds more than it does.
Yeah.
It's really only a 3.5 gallon tank.
Yeah.
But
It's got good lines on it though.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I gravitated towards it. Is I like that tank.
Yeah.
Who built this?
Well, they're out of business now, but it was the American Iron Horse.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, they did it. But now them, Big Dog, OCC, Orange County Choppers, Big Bear Choppers, Saxon Chop, all those guys are out of business, except for Big Bear and Big Dog. I think they came back.
Oh, okay.
But they were in the early 2000s. This is 2003, so early 2000s chopper craze. Then 2008, 2009 it collapsed.
Yeah, well, I can see that being a little trendy, but it's a beautiful bike. So.
Yeah, I still love it. I mean, people. A lot of my friends, they ride the touring bikes, the street glides, the road glides, and they always.
I've got a heritage myself.
Yeah, and they always tell me get one of like a road glide, and I think about it, but I don't know. I just love riding this thing.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
if you like riding it, you certainly make an entrance with it, and people notice. And
yeah,
without being too flashy. Really.
Well, also that's why I wanted it all black. I mean, some of these bikes, they made them with crazy flames and also tribal stuff. But I just thought that's now you're pushing it.
Yeah.
It's like you always got to find that right balance.
Right.
Like this guy who got this barber over here, he's got like these skulls. So, you know, you don't want to go too crazy with skulls. You want to kind of, you know, you got to have like a right kind of balance between looking cool and getting a little too
Yeah, a little
over the top. You know what I mean? So,
And you'll see the whole range out here. Right?
Yeah. But I'm glad they're open. I was, you know, it's the Monday. I knew it was Memorial Day, but I was like, I don't know.
Well, even when those places close, they still got bikers coming in here and hanging out.
Oh, I didn't know they came. People came in.
Sometimes they'll hang.
Yeah.
Not as many though. But
Not as
yeah,
many.
they're serving food.
Yeah, they got full service in there.
Yeah,
It's a takeout though. You don't just eat up on the patio.
Didn't the owner die recently?
Yeah, the
Older lady?
Yeah, Vern died. Ed had died a couple of years ago, I think, at least. And
So,
their son's running it.
well, I hope it keeps it going because, you know, this is iconic.
It's pretty classic.
He seems to be totally invested in it. So.
I mean, I always think of Jay Leno when I come here because he's coming here with his Maseratis and, you know, jet motorcycles and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
But,
Yeah, I still see them here once in a while.
I saw him with his Cobra replica.
AC Cobra.
AC Cobra, yeah.
Yeah.
About a year and a half ago.
well, you know, he has a show, Jay Leno's Garage. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Yep.
And I was watching once, and he was talking about like one of his Lamborghinis. And he goes, "Oh, so I'm going to take you to the Lamborghini section of not Lamborghinis, more than one section of my garage."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Wow, man." Most people would be happy with just one, and you have multiple Lamborghinis.
Well, he just had something. What were they talking about? Whereas they're talking about celebrities. I can't remember exactly, but they said, "Oh, we're visiting Jay Leno at his summer home up in the Northeast there, and this house is just like this giant mansion on all this property, and that's his vacation home."
Yeah.
You know, like, wow, he's done pretty well for himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but look at his where he keeps his cars out there in Moore Park. I mean, in Burbank at the airport there, he's got a hangar out of his own out there for all his cars. I'd like to get a tour of that place.
I don't know.
Sometimes they have tours, but yeah, I don't know if they're private or invitation only or.
I know he was a star. I knew he was on late Tonight Show. I just didn't realize he got paid that much money. I mean, it just seems like a never-ending well of money.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, you see his car collection; it's mind-blowing.
And you know, they're all not only are they all expensive, but he maintains them. He's got a staff that's.
They all get driven regularly. See, that's what's amazing. Most car museums, they just sit there in a museum. He drives them, or somebody drives them for him. He's got so many.
It was cool. All right, well,
Have a good
let's
ride.
talk. Yeah, have a good one. All right, so here at the famous rock store. Jay Leno comes here a lot. I'm gonna order some food. I'm glad they're open. It's Memorial Day, by the way. And you know, the Dehner boots are pretty comfortable, I have to say. The more I wear them, the more comfortable they are. But everybody's eating outside because I guess you can't eat inside. But I'm gonna get myself a sandwich or something. All right, so we're inside the rock store. Just wanted to show you their little wall of famous people here. A lot of famous people came here. And but it's kind of, Jay Leno is probably the most famous of all the people who come here, other than me, of course. Very cool place, very cool. Anyway, I ordered some food, so I'm gonna go eat. I walked out of the, I just finished having lunch and I walked out and my chopper's all by its lonesome. All right, I'm gonna head back home now. And as far as the Dehner boots, well, they don't look as shiny as they used to. Oh, by the way, this is where it hits the pipe. So I was telling you earlier, right there. When I put my heel, it touches the pipe there and that's what causes the melting. So the Dehner boots are pretty good. Overall, I like them. I will wear them from time to time. But I still think Wesco will be my boot of choice. Got to record some bikers coming in. But anyway, until next time, my friends, ride like the wind, and don't let that wind ride you.